It's James from Bristol Horological Society here. Second last day of BaselWorld 2019, and we have saved the best for last. So I'm here today with Charris from MB&F. He's the Chief Communications Officer. And first of all, I just want to ask, how are you, sir?
Happy, tired but happy. You're right. Before last day, everyone, the battery level is a little bit lower, but very happy.
That's awesome. So I want to talk a bit about the brand history and heritage. Could you share with us a bit about the inspiration behind the brand?
Sure. Well, to understand the brand, you need to understand a little bit about the MB of MB&F, so Max Büsser. In a nutshell, we could talk about this for hours, but in a nutshell, Max is someone who, the first 15 years of his career were with the big brands, Jaeger and Harry Winston. So he did that, and, those were great foundation years, but he decided that he wanted to do something much more personal after that, something he would be very proud of himself, and that was his dream company, Max Büsser and Friends, MB&F. Some of the values behind that company, which really stay very, very true today. Firstly, what is the &F, the & Friends? Max decided from day one that he would build dream teams, if you like, for every single watchmaking project. So contrary to the usual language of the big brands, which is, we do everything under one roof, it's all in-house, blah, 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 he took the opposite route. He said, no, I'm going to have a small core team, and I am going to build these dream teams of external talents, which, by the way, change from one project to the next because the expertise is not always the same. I'm going to build these teams, and I will credit very openly and very transparently each and every single person, that plays a key role. That was a bit of a shock in the watchmaking world, but it's very important to us. And by the way, & Friends also implies that these are people who not only have talent, but whom we enjoy working with. Very importantly, we want to do this in a positive spirit, in a very collaborative spirit. That was one thing. The other thing is he decided from day one that, we make watches, but it's not about giving time. It's a much more artistic endeavor. It's really about creating mechanical sculptures. That's why we call them machines. We don't use the term watches very much. So, that's, I would say, some of the founding principles. Last and not least, to do all that, we decided from the beginning that we would remain a small company. Big enough to generate, some cash to actually allow to reinvest in research and development for new machines, but never too big to the point where we stop taking creative risks. If we remain relatively small, if we make 230, 250 timepieces per year only, as long as we stay in that, I would say, scope, we will continue to take creative risks like the horological machines, like the clocks we make, like the legacy machines, and so on and so on.
Thank you. Yeah, that's amazing. You talked about like mechanical sculptures as opposed to watches, and I want to talk about the FlyingT,
Sure.
Just released at SIHH. Massive reaction to it, really positive on the whole. Could you tell us a bit more about the inspiration for the design and some of the mechanical features of the watch?
With pleasure. And actually, FlyingT holds a very special place in our collection because if you look back, the first 14 years of this company have been about creating machines that we like. So it was a very selfish process, and in fact, even more individually, that Max liked. When he started MB&F, he said very clearly, I'm going to make machines that I think are cool, that build on things that I loved as a kid and so on, the spaceships, the supercars, the planes, and so on. But it was a very self-centered, very selfish creative process. Finally, after 14 years, Max decided, well, maybe I need to do something not just for myself, but for someone else, women. Yeah. Why women, you might ask? Because his family is exclusively women. His father, he had a father, of course, he passed away before MB&F. Actually, that passing away was one of the reasons that pushed Max to start MB&F. But that's a different story. Ever since, it's been just women. His mother, his wife, and his 2 daughters. So I guess naturally at one point, he felt this desire to create something for them as well, and that's what started the whole FlyingT project. The feedback has been amazing, you're right, and we're very relieved because, for, as I said, the first time that we've actually created with other people in mind, we didn't know what to expect. Would people accept this new legacy machine? The feedback has been extremely positive from men, from women, from the press, from our retailers who have really snapped up all the pieces. So yeah, there you go. It's another legacy machine in the collection, our sixth now, after also 10 horological machines. So it's our 16th machine in 14 years.
Cool. It's a really stunning timepiece, and we really like it. But obviously, MB&F doesn't just make watches. You guys also make things like that, or things like the Octopod or Grant. And a lot of people might say that this is quite unusual for a watch brand to be doing this. But what do you think?
I understand the reaction, but when you get into the specifics of MB&F, you'll understand it's actually a very natural evolution of what we're doing. Why? Because as I said before, we're not about timekeeping instruments. We're about making these mechanical sculptures, which actually happen to give time. And that's why all of our wristwatches have always been very three-dimensional, as we say. They've always been very vertically built. It's not what you see a lot of today in watchmaking, which is, ultra slim horizontal constructions, which is great, by the way, nothing against that, but other brands are doing that extremely well. We've always taken the opposite route, saying, no, we want to make mechanical sculptures for your wrist, so let's use all three dimensions, and let's use that vertical dimension as much as possible as well. Yeah. So when you understand that, the fact that it's more about mechanical art, it's more about building 3D, clocks offer a bigger playground, basically. Yeah. Music boxes as well, which we did before, and so on. So when we sort of put our finger in that direction, well, it opened up a whole new space, which is a lot of fun for us. We've made 10 clocks in 4 or 5 years together with Lippe.
That's really impressive.
It's become part of our collection practically. Yeah.
That's super cool. So I just want to say, right now with all the things that MB&F has been doing, it's really, really impressive. But what can we expect in the future? So for all the viewers out there, do you think you could share with us a bit about that?
Well, I can't give you any top secret, elements. But what I can say, and this might be a little surprising, is that the only honest answer is that I have no clue. And we like that. We like the fact that we don't have, a 10-year, 15-year, 20-year plan. It's part of the fun, and it's part of the reasons why Max founded MB&F. It's to allow that freedom, creative freedom, the freedom to operate the business the way we want to. We don't know exactly where we're going. Of course, we know some of the next watchmaking projects in the next 3 to 4 years, because that's how long these projects takes to develop. But what is beyond that, I don't know. If you look back and you had been able to ask Max or the rest of us 5-10 years ago, would we make legacy machines? The answer would have been probably no, I don't think so. Because we were at the time totally focused on creating very unconventional, very contemporary wristwatches. Somehow, after a few years, we felt the need to come out with this second line of legacy machines, a bit more classically styled. If you had asked us at the time, will you ever be making clocks or music boxes, we would have said probably no, because that was not really what we were thinking at the time. In the meantime, as I said, 10 clocks.
Yeah, amazing.
Would we have guessed that one way we would make a women's watch? Probably not either. So that's really, we want that. We want that freedom to be able to evolve in any direction we might want to in the future.
Cool, thank you. Charris, it's been a real pleasure talking to you. And on behalf of the Bristol Horological Society, I just want to say thank you very much for taking the time to be with us here today and share about the brand and what it stands for. Yep, thank you.
Thank you.